Hi. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Vince from zkLink. Very glad to be here at the Starknet Singapore to share the work and the progress that we have done at the zkLink. I'm co-founder at zkLink. We're building a unified layer 3 on top of multiple zk Rollups, including Starknet. So the talk of today is uniting the Ethereum layer 2 ecosystems with Starknet, a rollup-centric future with zkLink. We are trying to build a secure, efficient, and unified trading execution layer that aggregates liquidity across multiple blockchains and rollups. The problems that we are trying to solve: liquidity fragmentation across rollups. I think it has become quite obvious that there will be dozens of layer 1s and hundreds, even thousands of layer 2 rollups for application-specific reasons. There will be maybe even more layer 3s because when an application has a very engaged and active community and a user community, they always will be facing the problem of the running high on cost and low in performance, and always want to have a dedicated blockchain or execution environment for their own application. They don't want to share the bandwidth, which is really limited on layer 1, and it will be pretty limited too on layer 2s. And also, by doing this, we're also simplifying the navigation among different blockchains and the layer 2s. Think about the way we use decentralized application nowadays. We often have to install a wallet for a certain blockchain, layer 1 blockchain. And for some of the layer 2s, this is also currently the case, that we have to install several wallets for several different applications. And this has been pain points for user experience. And users moving from one blockchain to another, one rollup to another, sometimes is complicated too. Especially for Web2 users, this type of user experience is not native, and it's hard for them to know and to understand. And to enable mass adoption, we need to simplify user experience to the maximum. And by now abstracting the layer 2s and abstracting the complexities of underlying technology, users should not need to worry about, or you shouldn't care about the technology. Even the technology itself is amazing. Think about it. When you use a smartphone, you don't really think about how the iOS is coded, right? So you don't think about that. You just know that it's secure and efficient, and it's good enough, and you really are just user-facing application, and you only care about the user experience and the features that you want. And also, there are security risks during interchain transactions, especially we have seen so many hacks already. The most recent one, I think there are hundreds of millions of dollars lost on bridges. And if this will also be the case, because currently if you want to use layer 2 applications, the first step is to bridge. And instead of using official bridge means that you deposit to the Starknet contract, and then the contract gives you the funds in the off-chain environment. Instead, I think a lot of users currently are still using a bridge that based on RFQ model or based on liquidity pools, or a lot of funds are controlled by the multi-sig. These types of bridges are extremely vulnerable. Even we were seeing the rising and implementation of next generation of bridges, which is a lot better in design, in security design. For example, layer 0, Axela, these new types of bridges, they have separate the transaction verification and the judgment, which is the relay. Still, there will be additional security assumption coming with bridge. Second, there will be additional cost associated. Third, will be user unfriendly to use a bridge. Expensive and risky. So why wouldn't one want to just take out the component of bridge for some certain types of use cases and simplify user experience? There are some features that we provide to developers. zkLink is an infrastructure provider. Our focus is to provide a developer-friendly, ultimately user-friendly infra for trading applications. We provide the high-level APIs to developers that have intensive experience with financial product features, that knows how to run exchange properly in terms of liquidity management, in terms of asset listing, in terms of user acquisition and user operation. Well, for a lot of the times, a lot of the teams that we have spoken with, have spoken to, they don't necessarily know, or most of them have relatively less experience with on-chain development, with smart contracts, with zero-knowledge proofs. They don't really need to take this heavy lift of learning from scratch how to build these sophisticated financial products using the smart contract language. And if they want to go multi-chain or multi-layer, they actually need to learn multiple types of languages. This is heavily, I think this is developer unfriendly, and the development cost associated there can be saved with solutions, infrastructure providers like zkLink. So they just need to use APIs. High-level APIs means only few lines of code, and then you're good. Because we have done the hard part for them. We have developed the zero-knowledge circuits for them, specialized for their use case, and we provide also the access to liquidities from multiple rollups, multiple chains. We currently support a few different types of use cases, including central limit order books, this is similar to DYDX, but with the spot trading and perpetual contract trading enabled. At the same time, we have specific features that we have developed in our circuit to enable a feature-rich central limit order books, for example, unified accounts, for example, portfolio margins. These kind of new features will unlock doors for the application builders to acquire professional traders, acquire retail traders that wants to trade as the maximal of their capital, who want to maximize their capital efficiency and provides more possibilities and also more choices of trading opportunities. Also, we are doing this with a built-in account abstraction, so this will furtherly lower the entry barrier to onboard users. Though I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the settlement side, because I think this is for layer 3s. I think the layer settlements on layer 2s today is not ideal, but with the maturity, with layer 2 ecosystem become more mature, we will see hundreds of applications being built in the same layer 2 and competing with maybe probably 100 plus TPS. Means that for a certain application, they will still have the problem of settlement speed. And also the finality time of the layer 2s of today are not good. I think zkSync on their mainnet is 24 hours for security measures, at the same time to save cost. But we expect this to be a lot faster on zk Rollups. With further implementation, this could go down to maybe 10 to 15 minutes, which is already very good from the perspective of layer 3, because our finality depends on the finality speed of layer 2s too. But our settlement on layer 2s will be instant. This is the protocol architecture. Here you can see that there are two separate deployments. There's zkLink Rollup 1, zkLink Rollup 2. Rollup 1 are for top 1, top 2. You can actually be just one application. You don't actually need several applications for one deployment. As long as this application has a lot of users, then they would really want to have their dedicated rollup environment. And they can customize the network collections. Currently, this is just the hybrid model, where you have layer 1, layer 2s as the settlement layer. But going forward, I think we're going to see more and more deployment focused on layer 2s, because this will reduce the cost. And the application 3, application 4, they are committing to a different deployments with a different network collection, with a different DA data availability solution. But what is important is that the different deployments of networks actually can share the cost of running the off-chain service. Means that they can use the same set of provers to generate a proof. They can share cost and lower the operational cost of the rollup. the types of networks currently support, including layer 1s, layer 2s, including zk rollups and OP rollups. Ultimately, I think we'll go to zk rollups because zk rollups are the future of Ethereum at the very least, right? So because the zk rollups inherit strictly derives security from Ethereum, while enable the settlement the finality speed a lot faster than an OP rollups. Although there are more builders right now and more liquidity right now on OP rollups, I still consider them to be transitional. So for some application builders today, they might have urgent needs of user acquisition and liquidity acquisition, so they might choose to still deploy on the OP rollups, so they can have a combination of both, right? But this will not change the fact that with the development of zk rollups, application builders, especially for in our use cases, they would naturally want to move to zk rollups because the requirement of security. When you manage large funds, when you are institutional trader, when you are a fund manager, you probably want to sleep very well if you like put in 20 million on the OP rollup with 7 days of finality time and no fraud proof implemented yet. If you think about it, it's pretty scary. The networks collection is just as I mentioned, right? So on this slide, you can see that we support the 3 types of implementation, but the actual direction that we're going is to become a pure layer 3 based on zk rollup. So we'll become Ethereum maximal zk rollup centric layer 3 execution environments. And this is a very simple graphic showing how it works currently with deployment on layer 1 and layer 2. This is a hybrid model. And there is one additional component in this graphic that, compared with layer 2 deployments. This is an external light oracle network that helps to synchronize state roots on different chains because the BNB chain cannot directly talk to Ethereum or Starknet. So you need general messaging service to pass the state roots and to ensure the state roots that of chain, the validator service is sent to each of the chains are the same one. So you need to synchronize that. But if you only deploy on layer 2s, because all layer 2s talk to Ethereum, so you could do that indirectly with the Ethereum contract. You could send the state root to the layer 2s, and the layer 2s send that state root to Ethereum through the official bridge. And then the contract you deploy on Ethereum will synchronize the states and send back the confirmation to the layer 2 contract, and then the finality is achieved. This is a very simple explanation of the different types of DA solutions that we can support. So 2 factors you are playing with: security, or maximal security, and cost. Ethereum DA, as a DA, is very expensive. It is mostly expensive for obvious reasons. And there are cheaper solutions like Celestia. Won't be very cheap, but it will be cheaper than Ethereum. And there will be eigenlayer using the Ethereum nodes. And there will be cheaper solutions like zk Porter, provided by zkSync, and also Volition. Starknet has been talking about. There will be some, decentralized storage solutions like IPFS. You can use this as DA, right? So depending on your specific needs, there are different demands of security for different types of applications. For DeFi applications, especially for the ones that have high TVL, they naturally have demands for higher security. They have endless demands there, so they will naturally choose to go to Ethereum. But for NFT trading, for utility NFTs, for gaming, for social, they will have higher demands in terms of cost and lower demands of security. Because even if you store the data, somewhere like in IPFS, then users would still feel comfortable there. But what they really care is like the cost. And also you can do hybrids. There are some basic roles in the zkLink ecosystem, similar to any other zk rollup network. We will have our option service like the validator, sequencer, provers, we write the circuits, right? Code contributors write the circuits and write the protocol, and then we will involve community developers to contribute and have a DAO to govern the development of the network, which networks we're going to add to the collection, what features we're going to add for the next one. How to build on zkLink infrastructure? Very easy. Go to our website. Visit the website. There are detailed instructions of how to use our APIs, and there are examples of the APIs. And there's a playground. You can simply build a front end, very simple match engine. So you could build a very simple spot trading decentralized order book. And if you have specific needs of certain features, for example, if you want to build a perpetual contract that has specific different design in funding rates, in liquidation, in the risk engine, then you probably want to talk to the core developers, and then we can design the circuits for your specific needs and with customization. And go deeper in that, we can optimize the circuits to lower the cost for you and improve the performance in certain areas, because we are playing with constraints, and there's trade-off. When you have higher performance, you probably have something that is less optimal. What we have done recently, we launched Alpha Mainnet. There's one application, zkex.com. It is the first multi-chain central limit order book with spot, perp, unified account, portfolio margin on 10 minutes. Right now we're live on 6 layer 2s and 4 layer 1s. This month we'll go live on Starknet Mainnet. We're already live on Starknet testnet for a while. And we have done several rounds of audits. The most recent ones we have done with ABDK. So here are some of the recent updates. And also, something that I would like to mention is the asset recovery feature. This is actually the promise of adding zk rollup or OP rollup, because data availability means that you can use the data stored on chain anytime at will. You can restore or reconstruct your layer 2 status. Any of you can do that. If you have a basic knowledge of coding, you can use the program. You can download the data from the chains where you store your data and use that to reconstruct your layer 2 status, no matter what happens. So imagine a layer 2 team just disappeared. There's some disaster just happened. No one you can turn to. You can still do that yourself and permissionlessly. This is the promise of zk rollup. And yeah, we have done this test in May this year. We have helped 60,000 users generated roughly 130K zero-knowledge proofs on our testnet environments and helped them to recover the funds from 7 different testnets. This is our journey with Starknet. We have started writing Cairo 0 quite early. It was June last year. And we deployed the smart contract V0.1 on Starknet testnet last year in August. And we began to upgrade the smart contract from Cairo 0 to Cairo 1 in this year. Yeah, Cairo 0, we have done that very early, but unfortunately, we have to do this again with Cairo 1. But yeah, now we're live on testnet with Cairo 1 contract. We have done the zero-knowledge verification contract with Cairo, and we have developed a very specific data structure to migrate our contract from Solidity to Cairo. There's some part missing, right? Starknet is still developing very fast, and for our specific needs, we developed the bytes data structure to ease the migration. And this is, I think it is already open sourced last week or this week. Our devs is on this. We very actively we want to be more open source and want to contribute more to the developer community by sharing our work and anything that could be helpful to other Cairo developers. This is an example of the data structure bytes. There's a lack of similar design in Cairo, posed challenges for transition for other Solidity developers to learn Cairo, and so I think our work will be beneficial for other Cairo developers. We're very happy to be part of the journey to help Cairo contracts become better and more usable, more developer friendly. Some details. We want to provide an infrastructure solution that makes it easy for developers to build scalable and secure dApps across different Ethereum rollups. Because Despite the fact that I really personally really bullish and I like the Cairo community, well, we still believe that there will be other zkRollUp layer 2s that will have their own vibrant developer community, their own user community. So these different determined layer 2s going to form liquidity fragmentations, and you will need solutions for the liquidities to talk to each other and to be unified. And this will be ultimately be contributing to greater innovation of user mass adoption. Going forward, we are upgrading right now. Very soon we'll go on zkLink beta. The beta means that we'll have like this. I already explained how it works, right? zkLink being a layer 3, and we're posting proofs and transactions to layer 2s, zkRollUp layer 2s, and talk to the Ethereum contract and get a confirmation from the Ethereum contract, and then you synchronize the states across different layer 2s. And this is how we unify liquidity, and this is how we aggregate the liquidity. So once again, we aim to enhance layer 2 ecosystem by unifying liquidity and by simplifying across Rollup user experience. Our aim is to add value to each of the Ethereum layer 2 ecosystems and unite the Ethereum ecosystem by using zk-SNARK, zero-knowledge proofs. Look forward to collaborating more with the Cairo community and with the wider range of developers. Thank you very much. We're running this summer tour. The users can deposit the funds on these different layer 2s and experience different layer 2s at one stop. Thank you very much.